Just as you're about to address the lizard, the Red Prince bars you with an outstretched arm.
This man is a dreamer. As you know, I need a word with him. You may wait here while I speak. Permission indeed.
He bids the dreamer stand up and pay attention, which he does in a groveling and awkward manner. The dreamer then chews and swallows a handful of Druidine leaves before slipping into a trance-like state. He falls asleep. To your surprise, the Red Prince lies down and follows suit. After about half an hour, they wake up and begin to discuss what they saw in their dreams. The Red Prince pinches the bridge of his nose in apparent irritation before turning his back on the jabbering dreamer. You receive a withering glance in response.
A deserved bit of sarcasm, I suppose. But though this sting-tailed fellow may be a less than stellar specimen in the firmament of dreamers, the dreams themselves prove to be quite elucidating. Turns out I'm being hunted by an enemy I didn't know actually existed. The myth-shrouded House of Shadows. The dreamers, though, they're on my side. And they've visions of me on the throne. Of course it is. I was born with the promise of an empire, and that promise will be kept. But to keep it, I must find a second dreamer. A greater one. A more experienced traveler of the dream world. Bahara is her name, and she resides in the swamplands east of the fort. So, let us make our escape and venture there post-haste. You know, I could
tell you all about swamp dreamers too if I chewed that much Trudine.
Oh, do hold your prickly tongue.
As you're about to approach the lizard, Sabine cups your chin between thumb and index finger, then guides your eyes to hers.
Listen, I need to have a chat with this here morsel of flesh. He has wronged me once, but may just do right by me this time.
To your surprise, Sabine proceeds to throttle the unsuspecting lizard with one hand as she drives the tip of her needle into his lower belly with the other. Then the questions commence. You hear him yelp about the master, lone wolves, and a man called Griff. Then, quite suddenly, there's blood everywhere as Stingtail falls to the ground, face first into his own intestines. Sabine heaves a sigh of satisfaction, and as she wipes her needle clean, shoots you a cursory look.
Chat's over.
Demon elf, how dare you strike down a dreamer?
Such is my prerogative, Prince. And doubly so, my pleasure.
Surrounding for an agreeable conversation, but go ahead. Dozens, I should imagine, but if we're talking about the ones that came after my exile, this would be number 5. Let them come, I say. Keeps one sharp. There was a small incident which prompted my many rivals to move against me. Technically, they had the letter of the law on their side. Such a nuisance, the law. Quite necessary to keep the common in line, of course, but one such as myself it should exempt as a matter of course. Notice that, did you? For future reference, if I don't answer a question, it's because I don't want to. I hardly know you as yet. Let's leave some mystery in the relationship, shall we? We can exchange criminal records later. There isn't much to say, but for the fact that I simply must. It's the portent of it all. I can feel it. The revelation will be world-changing. I just know it. And justified it is too. You'll be a witness to wonders, I assure you. As certain as the sun, such is my conviction. I will be, then grow beyond being. But that's the whole idea, I'm afraid. Even I myself thought it a myth. See, the ancient empire consists of 3 houses. The noble houses of war and dreams, and the upstart house of law. We of war rule the empire. Or so I thought. For if the warnings I was given are true, there's not only such a thing as the House of Shadows, it also pulls the strings, and it seeks to string me up first chance it gets. And you in me. Bah! I should whip her till she's as red-skinned as I am, then leave her for the birds to peck clean. But there are broad waters between should and shall at the present, and I'm nothing if not a patient prince. It's forgiving that I've more trouble with. Still, you bewilder me just as much, don't you know? It was you who invited little Miss Needlework into the fold. Do you mean to tell me you're comfortable with what she's done? Of course he did, like he was bid to, by a master, by a higher force than he. Doesn't bother you one bit, indeed, to see a sir cut down by a slave, a person by a plod? Preposterous! Quite right. Do seek my counsel. I highly recommend it. As am I. A prince should die of old age or on the battlefield. Anything else could be construed as weakness of character. That said, I've the distinct feeling I wasn't meant to die today, for despite your heroics, I was still cast into the water. But there was something in the water. A voice made of air that soothed my flooding lungs. There was sudden light, warmth, life. Truly, how intriguing. To hear a voice whilst drowning is a rather specific delusion to share, is it not? Still, I wonder if...
He hesitates.
Are you a religious person? I'm rather relieved to hear it. Religious persons tend to be all too self-important in their supposed humility. As for myself, I perform the ancient rites of prayer and ceremony with a kind of languid indulgence. After all, when one is revered by many as a living god oneself, public deprecation would be needlessly self-important as well, wouldn't you say? I intend to rule an empire one day, not a tiny outcropping in the sea, lording over gulls and guppy fish. To that end, I suggest we focus on the obvious. A farewell to Fort Joy and a hello to the mainland. Of course, I'd much appreciate it if we managed to find Bahara first.
I'd say we're making good progress already, no? I am too, I must say. Good to know someone's got your back when the going's tough.
He freezes and shoots you a wary glance. looking for all the world like a wild animal caught in the lantern light of a racing carriage.
Well, why not? Go ahead.
Ifan begins counting on his fingers and muttering to himself. This goes on for quite some time.
43, give or take. Indeed. That's pretty much how I feel about it, too. What else do you want to know? Not much, I'll tell you that. Why? What do you think of them? I figured you for someone who wouldn't buckle under their yoke so easily. Come on, get your spirits up. I'll wager they can't keep the likes of us locked up too long. Let's poke around and see if we can sniff out some blind spots in their surveillance. Soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team.
Ifan shrugs off his backpack and reaches into its depths. After rummaging around, he holds out a tattered page to you, upon which you can see a broken wax seal in the shape of a wolf's paw.
Have a read of my contract and find out. So, time to find this Boris fellow. Ah, you've read my contract. What does that look in your eye mean?
He raises an eyebrow and folds his arms, appraising you.
Me, not you. It's my contract. But you can come along for the ride. Good to know. And likewise, with whatever errands of your own you have. As soon as I saw that glint in your eye, I knew we'd make a solid team. Well, I've got a contract to complete. After that, getting the hell out of Fort Misery seems the best option. I figure we track down my inside man, and then we take it from there.
Ifan tips his fingers to his temples and saunters ahead.
Your eyes brim with inquiry, so ask. In a final heartbeat. Why? Did you assume I wouldn't? Ha! As it happens, that invitation is why I let you live. Your flesh is weak. All flesh is weak. But your spirit remained strong as your flesh was being pierced. That I admire. Huh. Hardly. I walked up to the quay, asked for the ship to Fort Joy, and declared myself a sorcerer. I'm here to hunt, remember? Here to play a game of tic-tac-terminate with a special certain someone. My. I did get you all worked up, didn't I? Afraid you won't be able to sleep tonight.
She pulls her hand away, quickly and violently, as if bitten by a snake.
I'm sorry. I don't know why I did that. I suppose I'm a bit skittish from time to time. Skittish like a cat that's seen too much unkindness. You see, there's triplets in my mind. The woman I am, the woman I must be, the woman I long to be. Like all sisters, they do tend to be at odds with one another. From time to precious time. To erase the past, I must do just that. Erase it. You can see what I can do. What comes as easily as a morning's yawn or a rush of blood in the presence of beauty. This, you must accept. Thank you. How romantic a concession, to let a woman kill when she so pleases. We may see no bars, but we are firmly behind them here and now. As I hunt for answers, escape must ever be on our minds. Let's save those for later, shall we? Not quite the thing I tend to share with strangers. Suffice to say, I need to speak with Griff. So let's find him. Ha! Nonsense. We've already cheated death coming here. We have but to cheat the living to leave. Ha! Shouldn't be too hard, trust me. May require some needlework, though.
The orange is hollow and tightly stuffed with a sweet-smelling substance. It appears that Griff was after more than just some fresh citrus.
I know Drudenay when I see it. Griff must be jonesing mightily for his next hit.
What sort of madman would cage a man over a missing hit of Drudenay?
Ugh, the elves would be furious if they found out Griff had been torturing one of their own over a little Drudenay.
Everything there? Good.
Sibyl gently places a hand on the small of your bag. Her mouth reaches your ear with a whisper.
Let me have a word with the gentleman, would you? I've a little clue to follow up on.
Sibyl steps forward and asks Griff the cook about the lone wolves. A dead little birdie told her he's the man to talk to. A little back and forth ensues. Money crosses hands, and before you know it, Sibyl stands back beside you, all smiles.
Thank you. We should make good on our escape, you know. I have to see a man about a wolf in the hollow marshes. Naught but a whelp in skillful hands, I'm sure. Zalaskar's his name. A name for the taking, if it comes to that.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
Griff glances from his blade to you and back again.
Spare the indignation and hand it over. Now. Good boy. Looks like everything's accounted for. Now the important question. Who's the thief?
He raises an eyebrow.
Looks like someone did my job for me. Your guy's free to go. He should be fine. Eventually.
It is done. And quickly. I thank you. I hold my end of the bargain. I show you the way out. But I have something more to ask of you. Yes, I become fine. And so much more when you agree to finish what I start. Sahela, she is everything. A ruler, a seer, a knower, a child. She cannot be lost here. It is for all our people, for the world. Give me your map. I show you the way out. A secret, dangerous, but it leads to freedom. I give you this amulet. You must pass it to the elves who still remain. Tell them Sahela is here. They will send help. Please. She is important. I go to her. I wish you good luck, and I thank you for us all.
Perhaps if those bleeding dwarves didn't eat so much.
If a magister finds us on you, you forget my name here.
Keep it down, will ya?
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
Got it?
Don't tell anyone where you got this, eh?
Keep it down, will ya?